donate. We're super thankful for all of our supporters, past and present. There's a donate tab on our website, miwrc.org, and donate. I believe it comes up right when you click on miwrc.org. We are, super grateful for all of the donations and support. But yes, we are still here, and we have an amazing staff, who are very committed to the future of MIWRC and our client relatives that we serve. And so we are, again, stabilizing all of the existing programs that we have, but we also are helping make sure that our staff are supported, through self-care and our personal wellness, and doing things as a staff, as a collective, to make sure that we are centering our healing as well, so that we can be of service and continue to be of service to the community that we serve. So those are some of the things that are top of mind right now.
Awesome. And, you have awesome services, awesome. I'm using that word awesome a lot today. Really, really cool things happening there. I know you bring in relatives that help with, making ribbon skirts, and also there's big talking circles that happen there. Can you talk a little bit about what happens during the week there at the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center?
Yes, a lot of programming, a lot of outreach, home visits. We have a new sexual assault empowerment group for Native women starting up May 24th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. Our Nujamo She They Heals program will be holding a monthly support group for Native women who are survivors, or those who identify as women are definitely welcome and will be embraced. And so survivors of sexual violence, gender-based violence, we provide a safe space to support Native women and trans relatives, to provide culturally specific crafts and discuss topics conducive to healing. And then there will be a free meal and refreshments provided. Please contact Penelope Sanchez at psanchez@miwrc.org. So that's one new group that's popping up right now. Nujamo also does weekly visits into the correctional facilities and helps survivors of violence, gender-based violence. And so with a lot of supportive wraparound services. Downstairs, we have the drop-in center, and that is also open on a daily basis, where we're helping serve client relatives who are unhoused, may come in, seek services. Right now, we don't have in-house any behavioral health or addiction services, so we do a lot of referral services. In the past, MIWRC did have all of those services in-house, but we're definitely strengthening existing and past partnerships. Like, for example, Native American Commission, I'm thinking of Fargo language. Native American Community Clinic, NAC, are super amazing partners of ours. They host a cedar ceremony here every month in the community room within the MIWRC building. We also have the Family Services Department that has a lot of home visits, outreach through kinship care, life skills parenting, and also other outreach and parenting curriculum classes. And then we have our traditional birthing program that does a lot of outreach and supportive services. And then we have our learning center that has a couple trainings on deck, Native American 2-day training focusing on substance use disorder, also another sub training on deck as well. And then we have housing. We have a housing navigator who is helping stabilize housing for our relatives unhoused. We had the top 2 floors of the MIWRC building. They are going to be renovated, and we had a huge process that took place before I got here, where there was a relocation process and plan, and it's been interesting, but I'm hearing a lot of feedback, which is good, of sort of success stories of families that, it was hard for them to move. Some of the families had lived here for 12 years, a huge life-changing event, but they actually were moved into more of an independent setting, nicer environment, nice house, you know, so there's some success stories there. And I just really want to give credit to our amazing staff who continue to show up day in and day out, providing selfless service and continuing to center our client relatives' voices and try to make sure that our staff, they themselves are whole, you know, and able to help others effectively.
It's amazing. I got to bring my video crew down there because and videotape this. This is just amazing what you all do there. Let's talk a little bit when we come back how our listeners can support what's going on there and websites and things like that. And because this is some great work you're doing there. I want to call you representative, but you're CEO, Ruth Buffalo, and we're so happy to have you on, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we come up. Okay, Ruth shake their head. Yes, it's okay. We'll be right back after this short break.
Minnesota summers are the best. We get outdoors and enjoy the sun and fire up the barbecues. This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to tell you about the exterior construction company that I trust, Snap Construction. As great as Minnesota summers are, they also bring extreme weather, storms, and hail. Late last summer, we were hit with a string of severe weather, including hailstorms. Those storms damaged roofs across the metro. Most storm damage goes missed by the untrained eye. A lot of homeowners didn't get their roofs inspected for damage and could potentially be facing much larger issues down the road. Please take my advice and call the roofing specialist I trust, Snap Construction, to schedule a free roofing inspection. If your roof was damaged, they will work with you and your insurance company to fix it quickly and efficiently. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Hey, this is Ellie Krug with Ellie 2.0 Radio. Did you know that we've been doing this show for 6 years on AM 950? And it's one of the only, I think it may be the only show about idealism in all of Radioland. And now the show's at 4 o'clock on Saturdays and still from 1 to 2 on Sundays. It'll be part of a new concept, a series of LGBTQ hosted shows and podcasts. Make sure to check it out.
Annie, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Love that tagline, as I always say. Hey, we're here with Ruth Buffalo, CEO of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center here in Minneapolis, and we're talking about the great things that that organization does, and Ruth is the leader. And Ruth, I want to, because I have a good memory, but it's short, I want to bring up right away how people can support this great organization that are listening in.
Yes, our website is miwrc.org. We do have a Instagram page, MIWRC 2024. We have had some hiccups, unfortunately, with the transition of leadership. And so you might see on Facebook a page that has about, I think, maybe 5,000 to 7,000 followers, but the last post on there was from like October of 2023. We're still trying to gain access to that. And then, early April, I think April 2nd, the second Facebook page was deactivated when a former staff member left, and so just clarifying and being open and honest there. Those are the hiccups challenges that we face. So we're debating on whether or not to create a third Facebook page, or just continue to wait patiently to try to gain access to the one Facebook page that is up and running. We know that as natives, Native Americans, we're one of the top populations that use Facebook, so it's tough when you don't have access, and it's also tough when you get blasted on Facebook too, in that respect. People say pluses and minuses.
Well, Haley blocks those messages out for me, so I don't see them. Thanks, Haley.
Yeah, the spam messages are constant on Facebook.
Yeah. Hey, Haley, you had a good question during the break here about the parade and the float.
Oh yeah, Ruth, didn't the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, you guys took home first prize for the kickoff parade for Indian Month here, right?
Yes, we did. We took first place out of, I think, 24, 25 floats, and it was definitely tough competition. And, there again, our staff, stepped up and completely shined and did an amazing job. We have artists, we have so many talented people on staff and very, very creative with good hearts. And so it's amazing to see. But yes, we definitely needed that boost, and that was amazing to see our staff take first place in the May 1st American Indian Month kickoff parade.
Yeah, definitely. That was exciting. And now I think we have something to shoot for, Haley. You can start working on our float for Native Restoration.
I know. It could be like a boom box or something.
Big microphone. Yeah, we definitely were already planning ahead, trying to hold that title. So big responsibility.
Uh-oh. Not now, Haley.
Oh yeah, we got some stiff competition for sure.
Well, what does a day look like with you at Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center? I know there's a lot of, like you mentioned, a Native American community clinic, and we know Native American community development institutes right down the street. Those neighbors support. I know support what you're doing, and it's great to have you part of the community.
Thank you. Yes, Madzigirads. Yes, a lot of the Native-led organizations have been super supportive and, providing guidance on just even like when we had a snow day and, just different things in passing, that were super helpful. Like NACD and NAC are helping us, partner for future funding opportunities. And a day in a life of being here at MIWRC is I work at least 12-hour days, so this is kind of coming into my work day. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, last night I was here till about 8:45. I usually get here 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. But we're not in the safest neighborhood also, and we had a staff member's vehicle broken into last week, Thursday, broad daylight, 2:00. We have security cameras, but we're beefing up those systems as well, and security as well, but and so that would happen in broad daylight. And so thankfully her car wasn't stolen. They gained entry, but she walked out right when they were in her vehicle, and so it was a Kia, and then the next day we saw another Kia parked on the side of the road out there with their window bashed in, and so it's unfortunate, but so definitely have to be aware of our surroundings. But again, we're here and still, want to wholeheartedly support and serve our community to the best of our ability. But we have a lot of amazing things going on here. We're excited, gearing up for our open house. That will be this Thursday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have the amazing Deanna Standing Cloud, who will be our MC. We have painting, cakewalk, a lot of even musical chairs, just some fun games to engage with the community. We're inviting all community orgs to set up a booth free of charge, but it's just a time to come together. We're going to be grilling. We have some amazing food and potato salad that will be a part of the day. So we hope you'll stop by 2300 15th Avenue South here in Minneapolis in the Phillips neighborhood, Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
What the heck? A cakewalk? I have not.
We were trying to get a dunking booth too, as a fundraiser, but maybe next time.
We could have Haley do it. It's a little chilly, but
You'll be in there, please.
he said, please.
My son, he, when I used to work for my tribal nation, I used to run our summer youth employment program, but they always had a really fun employee appreciation day, and they had a dunking booth. And my son, he's going to be a senior in high school next year, but he was, maybe 8 years old at the time, but he won the dunking booth contest, and he, kept getting the CFO, dunked. But yeah, he has a good arm on him.
Well, that reminds me, now that you're back in Minnesota, are you a Vikings and Twins fan and a Lynx fan? What's happening?
Lynx fan for sure, especially with the Alaska Native Samoan young lady. Hope to catch a few games, hoping that she may stop by and maybe say a few words to our client relatives. I was visiting with Sharon Day at one of the events, and I told her I'll follow her lead. She's with she leads Indigenous Peoples Task Force, and told her I'll follow her lead, Sharon Day, to get the connects going with the Minnesota Lynx player. Or maybe we can ask our sister, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan.
Well, we can ask Haley. Haley knows the PR person for the Lynx and got her on the show the second day that.
Amazing. It'd be amazing. Great role model. What's that?
You say
Alyssa Peely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm bad at names, so I have to have Haley here say that name again. I think I was talking over you.
Alyssa Peely, the one and only Peely Power.
Right.
And she made the roster recently, I saw. So that'd be amazing. We'll watch her. It'd be awesome.
Definitely. Well, Ruth, so we got Timberwolves out of you, but not Vikings or the Twins. So we'll have to grill you next week when you come on. Hopefully you can come on every week and give at least a one segment update. I just have to reminisce with you for a second. And I've brought this up too, but it was really, I always think of this in a good way when when I was bugging you to be on the show over the years, and you were flying. Do you remember you were flying somewhere?
Yes.
I interviewed Ruth the first segment, and she had to get into a plane and do some of her work. And I listened to the interview, and we talked early, and it was early in the morning, and then we interviewed later after you landed. And when I heard it play back, it was so funny. We were both so tired in the morning, and then in the second part, it was like we were wide awake.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like in between connections, and I think, during that time too, being like in service or service to the people, which is around the clock, doesn't end when you're in and out of office or not, but yeah, you always kind of, don't want to say no to people. So to the people. So yeah, I would have said no. I would have helped either way, Robert, for sure.
I know. I got to mention this too, and I don't know if a lot of our listeners remember this, but during COVID, we did a thing called Sunday Symposium across the country, and just to check in and see how people were handling COVID in Indian country. And Ruth, you had so many great guests on that show, connections and people you knew and grew up and played basketball with, and what was happening in Navajo Nation and with the doctor down there. I just want to give you a big peeny gigi, and maybe we can do another show some Sunday about what's happening and do that again. That was just, we had 15,000 people watching this on weekly on Facebook Live.
Yeah, no, that would be great. And for sure, there's lots of pressing issues across and throughout Indian country, urban and, rural. Also, too, just throwing that out there, definitely welcome a meeting with the Twins and the Timberwolves, too, if they should feel so inclined to give a donation to Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
Right on. Well, I think Wendy and I are going to the baseball game tomorrow, so I'll check in because we had our booth out there, and I know a few people, but we'll see. And it's great to have you on, and great to have you in the Twin Cities, and you're going to be doing great work as you have been in the past. So we really appreciate you.
Mazagirad, thank you. Likewise.
Right on. Right on. That was Ruth Buffalo, Haley, CEO of, Give It To Me, the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center here in Minneapolis, doing great work, and we'll be checking in quite often with Ruth. We'll be right back. Native Roots Radio.
This is Santita Jackson, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I couldn't be more excited about starting our days together, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Central on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota.
NEMA, the Northeast Minneapolis Arts Association, is celebrating 29 years of Art-A-Whirl, the nation's largest open studio and gallery tour. This popular free event is a rite of spring and a great opportunity to tour private artist studios and galleries, connect with artists, and purchase original artwork. Over 1,300 artists are spread across 100 sites throughout Northeast Minneapolis to participate in Art-A-Whirl, from potters and painters, weavers and woodworkers to musicians and glassblowers. Over 30 mediums are represented, and Art-A-Whirl takes place at studio buildings, galleries, breweries, and restaurants throughout the Northeast Minneapolis neighborhood. Art-A-Whirl runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, May 17th through 19th. Visit NEMA's Art-A-Whirl website to access the artist directory, maps, dining, and brew guides, and find demos, music performances, and interactive activities for everyone. Free Metro Transit passes and Art District trolley service is also available. Discover it all at NEMA.org. That's NEMAA.org.
Life can be stressful, leaving you feeling exhausted, in pain, and disconnected from yourself. At Resolve Pain Guru, we teach you how to come back home to yourself. Take back control with our 6-week pain relief online course at resolvepainguru.com. We'll help you release tension and pain, move better, and sleep better so you can do more of what you love. Check out these testimonials.
I thought I was missing something. Keys, purse. Did I lock the car? Oh, wait. I do not have any pain.
Since starting the Pain Relief Starter Series, my pain has reduced significantly and shifted dramatically. I no longer have this tight, tense, bone-on-bone, ceasing pain along my lower lumbar spine, SI joints, and pelvis. It's just incredible.
The pain that I had for about 15 years was gone. My brain kept saying something is different. You're not in pain.
Start your path to self-discovery and healing today at resolvepainguru.com.
The place for live music is the Park Tavern. The Park Tavern has delicious food and great bowling, and now the Park Tavern's dog-friendly patio is open and waiting for you. Starting this week, live music returns to the patio. On Thursday, May 23rd, come to the Park Tavern and enjoy the kickoff show with the Ice Holes. Reservations of groups of 8 or more are recommended. And the Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces for small and large groups with no room fees and no minimum spending requirements. On Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park, live music and outdoor fun are back at the Park Tavern.
Hey, it's Patrick. There's a lot to celebrate this month. Graduations, the end of the school year approaching, barbecues, and the warm weather months ahead. Make sure you celebrate in a clean home by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res. You know Zero Res is the zero residue carpet cleaners that don't leave behind any of the dirt-attracting soaps and chemicals that other carpet cleaners use. Trust me, don't risk it for the other guys or go DIY with your carpet cleaning. It'll end up soaked for days and do more damage than good. Just check out the 18,000 raving customer reviews online with a 4.9 Google rating. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet Zero Resified starting at just $129 and take $75 off an air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention you want the AM 950 special. Book with ease at Zero Res Minnesota or call 952 Zero Res. Spelled backward or forward, it's the same. Zero Res.
Why must the world be so cold? They've gone against what was told. Thinking rape is cool, think about it. They think it's not wrong, violence against women, the rape, the abuse, the emotional, physical, they all hold the hate, think about it. Is it right or wrong? What attracts you? I'm not saying no names, but you laugh. Talk about it like nothing is wrong. Think about it. They all hold the hate, gotta stop the violence. Stop the hate, think about it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
This is AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
I like what you did there. I am awake, and they sell a lot of strong coffee there. And I love Steve's Blend. Steve's Blend is a super dark, rich flavor, and I love it. Hey, we have Josiah Thunder on, and I am so happy. I haven't seen you in a while. I know you're a great dancer. Powwow dancer, but you are also a great artist, and it's so good to have you on and talk a little bit about what you're doing. Welcome to Native Roots Radio.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate the invite and all the kind words also. I try hard at both dancing and the art stuff, so I'm happy to be here.
Right on. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your art, the silver work you do, and then how people can look at your beautiful art. I believe on Etsy and a couple other places. We're really excited, Haley, to have this young warrior on and talk about his art, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I think like as soon as I got immersed into like kind of the popular people in the Twin Cities and all the, really cool, good artists. I mean, Josiah, I ordered some of his stuff right away, and I've got some of his earrings on right now. But
Whoa.
yeah, Josiah, it's really, really cool that you could stop in today, and Big Pinagigi. I don't think I have to explain what that means. You're Ho Chunk, so that's pretty cool. What clan are you in Ho Chunk?
Thunder Clan. So my dad's family's from just southeast of Eau Claire, and then my grandmother, my dog, she's actually a Green Girl. So that's so.
Good one. Yeah. Well, Haley, I just got to remind you too, my birthday's coming up, and a nice, applique bracelet, silver bracelet would look good on my left hand. Just throwing that out there.
I know. Well, I want to pop up some, if anyone can head over to our social media streams here and look at our video. I've got some stuff up of Josiah's here. His Instagram handle is woodland_thunder. So make sure you give him a follow.
So, I see a lot of really cool designs there. What's your inspiration? What's your process?
So the process is, it's kind of like a contemporary mix of both Ojibwa floral designs and Ho-Chunk floral designs on top of that. There's no real kind of like rhyme or reason like why this stuff is made. I kind of just, say somebody orders a set of bracelets, right? They'll say they want floral of some sort. I'm like, okay, and then I kind of just go with the flow, start drawing designs. There's like no real rhyme or reason like how like this stuff comes together. It's kind of like Bob Ross but metal. I don't know if you follow Bob Ross or not. But
Oh yeah, back in the day, we used to watch Bob Ross after high school.
Yeah, just like that whole process. You know what I mean? And I really do appreciate like everybody's like their trust. Like trust is a big thing with making not only ceremonial pieces but powwow pieces, powwow regalia type stuff, and even just like everyday wear. It's a big time thing for me, and it also inspires me to like continue to make stuff. You know what I mean? I always say I'm addicted to the smiles. So like when I get the pictures back from customers, like seeing those smiles is what motivates me to continue on.
Wow, that's exciting. To see, we always have to bring this up, right, Haley? And when it comes to art, because we have our Native Roots trading post too, that we sell art. Always ask people who made this, and make sure that there's no appropriation involved, because I know a lot of our relatives we see out there on Facebook and all these other things, their things are stolen, and next thing you know, there's somebody else is selling them. So always ask who designed this and who made this.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a pretty common question I get asked. They ask if it's appropriation if they buy it and they wear it, especially if they're non-tribal. I said no. I said as long as you understand that. So you know who you purchase it from, right? And you're telling people that you purchase it from an indigenous, or you know what I mean, an indigenous artist, just like you said, who the artist is. And then there's also questions about whether pieces are ceremonial or not. I get asked this quite a bit. Pieces aren't ceremonial until you introduce them to ceremony, right? That's what I tell the people. So otherwise, they're just bracelets, earrings, or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, I make this stuff for anybody, so it could be tribal, not tribal, anybody. So.
Right. And a lot of our artists, and I know we make resin earrings. My son-in-law makes resin earrings, and each piece of corn or whatever, sage or flat cedar he puts in those earrings, there's a prayer involved. And I know there's also, you pray over your stuff too.
Yes, every day before I start making stuff, I smudge or burn some cedar or burn some sage, whatever I have, sweetgrass, whatever. I have the mindset of like I want to have the energy. So I believe in energy reciprocation, right? So if I'm putting good energy into this, that means the person that's buying it is also going to receive that energy. Those are the kinds of thoughts I have like when making stuff too. So
that's awesome. So where's your studio?
My studio right now, believe it or not, so a few years ago, we used to take care of my little in-laws when their mom passed away. So we built 2 bedrooms in the basement, right? And they grew up, moved out. They're like 21 now. So I turned one of their bedrooms into the place where I make all my stuff, right? It's kind of it's like a cramped little, kind of like humble space right now. But I'm also building a new shop, 24 by 32. So hopefully, I plan to get that done pretty soon, so I can move into there and can get into making some more. Like I have bigger plans, bigger ideas, things that I want to kind of evolve into from where I'm at right now. It's exciting times, exciting stuff. So,
well, I know you've been kind of doing this at least for 5 years, kind of a full-time basis where I've seen your stuff. Has it been longer, or is that about the right?
So I got an interesting story of how this all evolved. All right,
let's hear it.
Okay, during the pandemic, right before pandemic times, I was a union carpenter in the construction for the majority of my life. Right, company I worked for, the pandemic hit. The company I worked for paid a percentage of my wage to be home with my kids as long as their school was canceled or whatever it was. So during that time, I was getting paid to be home, so I had enough free time to kind of experiment with making earrings and a few other things. It actually all started with war clubs, but then transitioned to earrings. And then we ended up opening our shop, developed a following, opened our shop at the end of 2020, and it kind of just took off from there. So it was kind of a crazy story of how it happened. People are like, they're so down about the pandemic, but to me, I'm like, it was a blessing. It gave me to be home, to be with my kids, and to create art, which I never had time to before. So.
Let's talk a little bit about those war clubs, because I forgot all about that. Those are beautiful. And Haley, take note, those are beautiful war clubs that we could have
birthday present,
my fan and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about those. Those are awesome.
Okay, so I just want to give a shout out to my big brother, Gerald White. He's from Leech Lake. He's a mentor. I met him by chance at a powwow. Oh, actually, I fanboyed. I didn't say anything to him. I was walking through the powwow line after we danced our special or whatever, right? And I was just like I was at a loss for words. And then he came back and sat down by me and introduced himself, and we talked and kind of became friends, right? And then he's a traditional war club maker, ball-headed war club maker. Kind of mentors me, give me different tips and tricks along the way, and how to shape these things, how to harvest wood, different types of hardwood, a lot of different information, and I really appreciate him for that. I don't even know how I even got into it. I was given a club by my dad, which my grandfather made for my dad back in, I think it's almost 70 years ago now, maybe 65 ago. So my grandfather carved that for my dad, gave it to him, and then I kind of used that as inspiration. And you saw how it was, it just got out of control with the clubs. And every time I learn a new skill, I become obsessed with it, and I want to get better and better and better and better. You know what I mean? So, and I just kind of had a good following, got lucky along the way. So,
well, it's continuing good luck. So I think it's more than luck. You definitely have a skill, and as an artist, it's amazing. I kind of forgot about the clubs until you brought that up. It's like, yeah, that was huge. And people use them for dancing and for a lot of things.
And another cool thing too that got the whole earring game started, right? I made mini war club earrings. Somebody asked me about this the day at the American Indian Center, the grand reopening, right? I was there at the ball, and somebody asked me like, "Hey, are you still making those?" I was like, "What?" I was like, I almost thought that everybody forgot about them. It kind of cringe almost because it's at the beginning, like the humble beginnings type things, So, so I mean, I appreciated their memory, and I was like, "Hey, I'll have to dig back into the vault and try to remember if I can make them because they're only maybe 3 inches long and they're both a gun stock and little ball head war club, so they're kind of cute.
I could. Those are like pansexual. Anyone could wear those.
Yeah. So the way all the stuff I make is there's no, you know what I mean. Anybody can wear this stuff. So.
Yeah, a coworker of mine, Danielle DeLong, I know she has 2 beautiful cuffs that you made a few years ago, and she wears those when she wants to look really out and about. So those are beautiful.
Oh yeah, she's one of my favorite customers. She's bought quite a few pieces. Like you'll see some of the different shell jewelry she has with elk teeth. Definitely good energy. I really appreciate the PR. All those kinds of things too. I'm like, I just, like I said, that energy transference, like, I that's what I'm all about. I like that stuff. So
right on. Hey, Haley, can you pop up the art and maybe give a quick how we can find Josiah?
Yeah, definitely. So you could shop him at woodlandthunder.etsy.com and follow him on Instagram at woodland_thunder.
Yeah, there it is. It's beautiful stuff. We'll talk a little bit more. We're with Josiah Thunder, Woodland Thunder, and look at the beautiful things on there. I know most of our audience, the 200,000 people that listen to us over Turtle Island, can't see this. So come back and watch this and check it out. Hey, you're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we'll be right back.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
If the statistics say that 1 in 3 Native women and 1 in 6 Native men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime, it means our whole community is affected by sexual violence. 1 is too many. Don't stand by, stand up. Don't engage in acts of sexual violence and shut down the dirty jokes, the gossip, the victim blaming and shaming. As a community, we can change the way we respond. Contact the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition to attend a workshop to learn more.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
O'Reilly Auto Parts has what you need to keep your engine performing at its best. Our professional parts people will help you select just the right products for your car and budget, like 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional or high mileage motor oil and a MicroGuard filter, just $28.99. Plus earn double O rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Oh! All right. We did Josiah, thanks for joining in. Right on, right on, right on. Hey, we are talking to Josiah. He's Thunder, and he is the owner of Woodland Thunder. I guess can I put jewelry at the end? Woodland Thunder jewelry, or how would that?
Yeah, you can put jewelry. I think at one time we had custom jewelry. We had jewelry. Yeah, that works. I know it's kind of the art aspect is kind of broad. Like I said, that does include war clubs, yet spoons, different stuff like that. So
Wow, that is so exciting, and and also what I really like too is like you were saying, it's modern but also old school in a lot of sense, and really molding the two together. People in fashion shows wear your stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
yeah, so I got invited to. It's kind of cool. There's so many different people from different parts of the United States that purchase my things. They end up either in fashion shows, movies. A big one would be like a few episodes of Reservation Dogs. Kinds of things, you know what I mean? There's some so the pieces I made for Reservation Dogs are kind of some different pop culture pieces. And then even one of my friends, she's from Oklahoma. She bought some pieces and was kind of like one of the people's. What is it? What are those actors called that are in the background? Whatever. She was one of those people. And
stand-ins.
Yeah, stand-ins. That's exactly. She was a stand-in, and she even wore some of my stuff while she was a stand-in. You know what I mean? So, hearing about those kinds of things, they definitely put a smile on my face. Not only that, I made pieces for different musicians, like heavy metal bands, heavy metal lead singers, specifically for them, gifted to them. Even like with their names on it, Floral Designs, Ojibwe Floral, at a heavy metal concert on the lead singer, right? That to me, that's like insane. It's like insane, crazy stuff to see that, right? And last year I was at that show. And the band is actually Seven Dust, right? It's one of my favorite bands of all times. And I give a shout out to my big brother, Big T, Terrell Sather. He kind of like put the wheels in motion for like all stuff with the band, right? And to see that stuff on stage and to get a shout out from the lead singer while the show was going on is like the biggest thing ever. So.
Wow, that is cool. That is very cool. What other cool? Well, let me do this because this last segment's pretty short, and I would like you to say whatever you would like to say. If you want to give a shout out to more of your supporters and people who have really inspired you, Josiah, I'd love you to have that opportunity.
Oh, sure. So at the beginning of when I got into the business, I always, one of the people that really inspired me and inspired a lot of small business owners is Sarah Howes, right? To me, that's probably the main inspiration for when I got into jewelry. And she gave me a lot of advice on some of the different things to do, how to interact with customers, stuff like that. So I'm always forever grateful. And we have a kind of a jokingly relationship on Facebook and even in person, but she's super cool. Another person that I want to give a shout out to also is Adrienne Benjamin, right? I know she was a big fan of the show. Again, another fan, another creator, another artist. People I look up to are artists in general. They kind of give off that good energy that a lot of times I just sit there and just like be in their presence and like enjoy that energy that they give off. You know what I mean? I don't even have to say anything. Just sit there and just enjoy that company, right? It goes a long ways, but at the same time, once they start talking to me about jewelry and making stuff, then I'm like, I can't stop talking about this stuff. So it's kind of like that short moment is short lived, and I appreciate their acceptance of my kind of like my nerdiness with this type, with the art stuff. So
that's awesome. And I gotta say, people too that have not met you in person, it's really cool to see a soft side of a gentle giant like yourself. You're about 6'5", 6'7", somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's the thing. When people meet me, they'll look at me. Even when I was at the American Indian Center, like grand opening, people were looking at me, so I go over and like introduce myself. I mean, I look scary. You know what I mean? I look scary, but I'm not. Then like once people start talking to me, they're like, "Oh, you really are." You know what I mean? Like you said, a teddy bear. But don't tell everybody that, right? Okay. So I want them to.
Yeah, you want certain people to fear you, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But, I know our family, me, my dog, my Weeha, and he knew have gotten pictures with you at powwows over the years because you're doing it. You're there, and you're dancing for people who can't dance, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate it also. A funny story too is I only started dancing back in 2018, right? That's the first time I ever danced in my life, making my own outfit, and then kind of just building on that from here. So I really appreciate those kind words. It makes me feel good. Like you said, dancing for the people that can't dance, that's like my favorite thing. So
Yeah, definitely. And wow, this has been really really fun, and we have to do this again. Again, I really want to, because you're a beautiful person and you have a beautiful art, to give out that address to our listeners again, Haley, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so you can follow Josiah's stuff on woodlandthunder.etsy.com, and then give him a follow on Instagram at woodland_thunder.
Well, this has been fun. Where can we see you again? Or do you bring your jewelry to powwows, or are you pretty much online?
most of my stuff is online. I'll be set up. There's an event in Madison coming up. I have a lot of online sales, a lot of orders that I try to take care of, and that keeps me pretty busy. Every once in a while I'll set up. You'll see I usually post stuff on Instagram or our Facebook business page. And I usually give everybody a heads up because people ask me if I'm bringing stuff to the ball. I'm like, oh man, I want to, but at the same time, I like dancing and I just like going around and visiting, and I don't want to have that extra stress going on. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Well, this has been really my pleasure to sit down and talk to you, and I see you around the community, and it's great to promote what you're doing. And I want to just say a big Peeny Gigi for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate the invite as well. Like I said, I'll see you all the time. I love kind of hanging around that city's area, that whole energy, even the Minnesota, like that whole art scene. I really enjoy. So
not enough to wear Vikings though, right?
Don't even say that. You know where I live at, right?
just testing you. Hey, really a big Peeny Gigi. Thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, you're very welcome. I look forward to seeing you again.
Right on. That was awesome. Wow, Haley, that was just so fun.
So is, and I'm excited I always got to check his Etsy site too, because I'm like, he posts new stuff on there all the time, and I'm trying to keep up, and then like you'll add it to your shopping cart, and then you'll come back and it's gone, someone else got it. So I got those updates on, those notifications again. So woodlandthunder.etsy.com.
Well, I'm a baby elder, so my wrists are shrinking. So just remember that when you're picking me out some beautiful.
Yeah, we could get you some kid sizes, maybe a little cheaper or something.
Big Peeny, good one. Hey, I pushed the wrong button. I got the applause going on.
Oh,
hey,
it was a good one.
Right on. Hey, great show. This has been Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. If you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops, the ground in which we stand on, the sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, and vote. We're still here. We are the seventh generation.
And free Leonard Peltier. Now.
Get ready to power up your summer at the 33rd Annual Energy Fair presented by the Midwest Renewable Energy Association. On Saturday, June 22nd, head to Custer, Wisconsin near Stevens Point for a day packed with clean energy and sustainability. Explore hands-on demonstrations, dive into educational workshops, and discover cutting-edge clean energy exhibits. Don't miss the chance to tour the MREA's energy storage facility. Plus, there's more than just green energy. Indulge in sustainable food options, groove to live music, and enjoy family-friendly fun. Lace up your sneakers for the Rise Up and Race 5K starting at 8 a.m., and energy professionals can get an early start to the weekend with Industry Demo Day on Friday, June 21st, featuring exclusive demonstrations and continuing education. Camping sites are available, and there are affordable options nearby. And here's a bonus, charge your electric.
My name's Amber from the Ho-Chunk Nation. You're listening to AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Toad, your alarm clock is ringing. It's spring.
It's spring?
Yes.
Ding-ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. Is it spring? Is it true?
You know what that means?
I do. It means our show, A Year with Frog and Toad, is playing at Children's Theater Company.
I can't wait for everyone to come see us live on stage. What do you think we should do?
Well, we'll go swimming, bake cookies.
And of course, we'll also
sing! This is a musical, after all.
Don't miss A Year with Frog and Toad, playing April 23rd through June 16th.
Tickets at childrenstheater.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Tom Wesley. A sunny day today with a high near 80 degrees. Tonight, clear with a low of 52. For tomorrow, a chance of afternoon showers, increasing clouds, and a high near 76. Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville sets the bar when it comes to roast beef sandwiches. They've got delicious Philly cheese sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwiches, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, and pulled pork. Located off Lexington and Roseville and at mavericksbeef.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Hello, everybody. It's 2 p.m. Time for This Queer Book Saved My Life and The Gaily Show. I'm your host, JP Darbagosian. My executive producer, Jim Pounds, and I, we had a great time in New York City last week at the GLAAD Media Awards. We didn't win, which really wasn't the point, actually. It was great to be in that room, helping to raise over $350,000 that night for all the great work that GLAAD does. Besides, it's not every day you get to wear sparkling gold Doc Martens. Check out my Instagram to see them at This Queer Book. Today on This Queer Book Saved My Life, 4-time Minnesota Book Award winner David LaRochelle is here. We're talking about the memoir Conundrum by Jan Morris. On The Gaily Show, Molly Ritchie joins me to talk about Family Funeral, playing now at Huge Theater. And let's get into The Wrath of Comic-Con. David Reddish chats with me about his new book. So keep it tuned right here to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. On today's episode,
but the bigger impact that this book even had on me was the feeling that just because I don't experience something doesn't mean that it's not true.
I'm talking with David LaRochelle about Conundrum by Jan Morris. Published in 1974, Conundrum is one of the first memoirs written by a trans author. For David, it taught lessons in empathy.
And I take this mindset from this book and I have applied it throughout my whole life, and it comes up in so many instances.
My name is JP Darbagosian, and you're listening to This Queer Book Saved My Life. Let's meet David LaRochelle. His pronouns are he, him. Asking a children's author to pick their favorite book growing up in retrospect doesn't seem like a fair question, but David shared with me that he adored the Chronicles of Narnia and the Beverly Cleary books. He also loved the series Half Magic by Edward Eger. In it, ordinary kids had magical adventures happen to them. And David so wanted that to happen for him that he went around looking for magic coins. And if he found something on the ground, he would practice wishing on it, thinking it might be a magical object like the kids in the books found. David grew up in a reading household, and I love this detail. Before summer vacations, his mom would take him and his sister to the library to get a big stack of books to read. My kind of mom. David is a former 4th grade teacher. While teaching, a friend convinced him to send in a story he had written to a publisher. The editor loved it, and in 1988, his first book, A Christmas Guest, was published. Since then, he has written or illustrated over 30 books and written a YA novel. His books have the best titles like See the Cat, 3 stories about a dog, The Haunted Hamburger, and my personal favorite, Moo. The entire book has just one single word, Moo. It is amazing. David is not only a prolific writer, he is a celebrated one. He is a 4-time Minnesota Book Award winner, and he has won the Sid Fleischman Humor Award. In 2021, he won the Theodore Seuss Geisel Award. The Geisel Award is given every year to the authors and illustrators of the most distinguished American books for beginning readers.